The great hall of the Galactic Council shone with light from 1,000 stars. Transparent walls offered a view of the swirling nebula outside. Delegates from hundreds of worlds sat in curved rows, each representing their species, their planets, and their hopes. The air hummed with anticipation. Today, humans would speak, and what they had to say could change the galaxy forever. Commander Liam, tall and confident, stepped onto the central platform. His uniform was simple, yet elegant, with the Earth insignia shining on his chest. Around him stood his crew, each member chosen not for rank, but for skill, courage, and vision. They were a small group, but their presence was enough to silence the room. Liam raised his hand, and the murmurs stopped. Honored members of the Galactic Council, he began, his voice calm but strong. For centuries, humans have participated in your debates, your committees, and your endless councils. We have tried to help guide the galaxy toward progress. But today, we make a decision that may surprise you. The delegates leaned forward. Some whispered to each other. Others looked confused. We, humans, are withdrawing from the council, Liam said. He spoke slowly to ensure there was no misunderstanding. We will no longer participate in your debates. We will no longer wait for consensus or follow your endless rules. We will act, explore, and innovate on our own. Humanity will chart its own path. A gasp echoed through the hall. One of the reptilian delegates banged his claw on the table. You cannot do this. You are part of the council. Your withdrawal is unacceptable. A small, blue-skinned diplomat shook her head. Are you certain? The council's laws and decisions protect countless systems. Leaving us now could cause chaos. Liam nodded respectfully. We understand your concerns. But for too long, action has been delayed by endless debate. Systems suffer while leaders argue. We will continue to help, but not by your rules. We will show that action, not discussion, drives progress. Murmurs spread across the room. Some delegates looked shocked. Others looked impressed. One of the insect-like delegates whispered to her neighbor, perhaps they are right. We talk too much and do too little. Liam's second in command, Mara, stepped forward. We do not leave out of anger or disrespect. We leave to demonstrate what is possible when courage meets purpose. Our departure is not a threat. It is an invitation to rethink, to act, and to grow. The council erupted into arguments. Some species demanded humans be forced to stay. Others accused them of arrogance. Some quietly wondered what humans could achieve if left free. Outside the hall, Liam and his crew had already begun preparations. Their ship, Horizon, waited in orbit. It was sleek and powerful, built for speed, exploration, and endurance. Liam knew the galaxy would watch their first journey closely. Every choice they made would be examined and judged. But humans had always learned from experience, not from committees. Back in the hall, one elder delegate, a giant with golden eyes, stood. If humans leave, who will lead when danger comes? Who will guide new worlds? His voice rumbled like distant thunder. Liam stepped forward again. Guidance is not given by authority. Guidance is earned by action. We hope to inspire, not command. We hope to show that courage and creativity can achieve what rules and hierarchies cannot. A tense silence followed. No one spoke. The human crew remained calm, their expressions steady. They knew the council would react, but they had expected this. They had trained for it. Finally, the leader of the council, an ancient being with silver wings, spoke. So be it. Humans will leave the council. The consequences are unknown. Let the galaxy witness what your choice brings. Liam nodded. We accept the consequences. And we hope our example will help the galaxy grow stronger, faster, and wiser. With that, the humans bowed respectfully and left the platform. The delegates stared, some in disbelief, others in admiration. The humans did not argue, did not beg, did not threaten. They simply walked away, leaving their message clear: action matters more than authority. Outside, Liam turned to his crew. "This is only the beginning," he said. Mara smiled. "The galaxy will notice soon enough. They will see what humans can do when they take responsibility for their own path." The horizon launched, glowing against the backdrop of stars. The council watched silently as the humans disappeared into space. Fear, curiosity, and awe filled every delegate. The galaxy had shifted in one moment, and no one could predict what would happen next. For humans, the journey was not about power or control. It was about possibility, discovery, and courage. And as the stars stretched before them, Liam knew the greatest adventure was only beginning. The news of humans leaving the Galactic Council spread faster than any message before. Star systems across the galaxy buzzed with confusion and speculation. Markets paused, fleets stopped mid-journey, and councils on distant planets held emergency meetings. For centuries, humans had been respected for their wisdom, creativity, and courage. Now, they were gone, and the vacuum they left was impossible to ignore. On the planet Virella, a system heavily influenced by humans, the council chamber was in chaos. Delegates from nearby planets shouted over each other. Some feared for their worlds without human guidance, while others wondered if this was an opportunity to gain more power. A young Virellan named Sorrow whispered to his neighbor, "If humans leave, will the council collapse? Can we survive without them?" Meanwhile, in orbit above the same system, human ships moved silently. Liam and his crew aboard the Horizon were already beyond the Council's immediate reach. They charted new star systems, scanned unknown planets, and sent peaceful messages of cooperation to species they had never met. Humans were acting as explorers, not rulers. They wanted to show that the galaxy could grow through courage, skill, and cooperation, not politics and rules. Despite their departure, many alien species continued to follow human innovations closely. Small fleets were sent secretly to observe human outposts, recording the human strategies and technologies. Some aliens, frustrated with the slow pace of the council, began to question their leaders. If humans could achieve so much outside the council, what did the council truly offer? Back at the Galactic Council, debates became heated. Factions formed quickly. Some members argued that humans should be forced to return through law or threat. Others insisted that the humans' choice must be respected, though it left the council weaker than ever. Heated arguments turned to insults, and insults to accusations of treason. Among the chaos, an elderly delegate named Votrek, known for his calm voice and wisdom, stood. "We cannot force humans to stay. We cannot ignore them. The galaxy is changing, and we must understand this. Humans act not out of rebellion, but out of courage. Perhaps we have underestimated them for too long." His words, though measured, were drowned out by louder, angrier voices. While the council argued, humans were already making progress. On a desert planet called Callian, the crew built their first independent research station. Mara oversaw the construction, working alongside alien engineers who were curious enough to join. Liam coordinated exploration missions, studying the planet's strange wildlife and mineral resources. They faced dangers such as sandstorms, massive creatures, and seismic activity, but each challenge strengthened their teamwork and confidence. In the midst of their exploration, the humans sent out a single broadcast to the council: "We act, we learn, we create. Observe, learn, and grow. We hope our example encourages progress. Our choice is peace, not conflict." The message caused an uproar. Some delegates were inspired, secretly admiring the humans' bravery. Others were furious, calling it a provocation and a threat to council authority. Everywhere, systems began to question old alliances, and the first cracks in council unity appeared. In another part of the galaxy, a species called the Tyrannids, previously loyal to the Council, discussed the human example. Their leader, a careful thinker named Renak, said, "Humans leave, yet they accomplish more in a month than we have in a decade. We must learn from this. Perhaps our reliance on authority has slowed us more than we realized." Humans continued their exploration, discovering a planet with vast forests, rivers of shimmering liquid, and intelligent life that had never made contact with any other species. The humans approached peacefully, learning their language and culture. They taught the new species how to use resources without destruction, how to solve problems with teamwork, and how to dream of more than survival. Back at the Council, reports of human discoveries reached the chambers. Delegates argued about whether to encourage cooperation or to try to stop the humans' influence. Some feared losing control over their allies and systems. Others feared falling behind in technology and exploration. Tension grew with each report. Liam observed the Council's chaos from afar. He knew that the humans' example was changing the galaxy even without direct involvement. The contrast was clear: the Council was paralyzed by fear and ambition, while humans were achieving results with courage, creativity, and trust. As the Horizon prepared to leave Callian, Mara said, "It is strange to see the Council fall into confusion, but their chaos will teach them. We are not their rulers, but we are their example." Liam nodded. The galaxy will adapt, with or without them. We only need to show what is possible when action guides the way. With new planets explored and new alliances formed, the humans set course for the unknown regions beyond mapped space. The galaxy watched, uncertain and anxious, as a small human crew quietly demonstrated that progress and courage were stronger than politics. In council chambers, arguments continued, alliances shifted, and fear grew. Across the galaxy, systems began to ask the same question: if humans could achieve so much outside the Council, why had we depended on the Council at all? And in the depths of space, Liam and his crew moved forward, ready to discover more, ready to show the galaxy what humanity could achieve. The horizon moved steadily through uncharted space. Stars stretched into long lines as the ship entered regions no human or alien had ever visited. Commander Liam stood on the bridge, scanning the displays. Every new reading, every unfamiliar planet, reminded him why humans had chosen to act rather than debate. Exploration was not about politics, it was about curiosity, courage, and learning. Mara, his second in command, pointed at a blinking signal. "Sensors detect a planet with breathable atmosphere and intelligent life," she said. "No record of any council contact." Liam nodded. "Prepare a team for first contact. We approach with care and respect. Our goal is to learn, not dominate." The landing team arrived on the planet's surface. Tall trees with glowing leaves stretched toward a purple sky. Rivers shimmered like liquid glass. Creatures with delicate wings and large, curious eyes watched from the forest edges. The team approached slowly, hands visible, speaking in calm tones. A creature stepped forward. It was small, covered in soft fur, with hands capable of precise gestures. It seemed to understand the humans immediately. Mara knelt slightly, showing friendship. She offered a device with images of Earth, stars, and human achievements. The creature tilted its head and then mimicked the gestures, showing curiosity and intelligence. "This is remarkable," said Dr. Rena, the team's linguist. "They are capable of understanding symbols, language, and collaboration. We can learn much from them, and perhaps they can learn from us." Back on the horizon, Liam received updates from the council. Reports were chaotic. Factions argued endlessly. Some blamed humans for leaving, claiming systems were now at risk. Others admitted privately that humans had shown the galaxy a better way. Yet nothing was being accomplished. The council remained trapped in debate, while the humans acted. On another world, a team explored deserts of shifting crystal sands. Mara led efforts to create temporary shelters and research stations. Humans worked with local creatures, teaching them simple engineering techniques while learning about the planet's unique properties. Each success reinforced Liam's belief: humans thrived when they acted boldly and cooperatively, without waiting for permission. The Council, however, began to feel the pressure. Systems that had once relied on Council decisions were now forming independent alliances inspired by humans. Supplies, communication networks, and even fleets shifted loyalty. The galaxy was subtly realigning, and the Council struggled to respond. In orbit above a gas giant, Liam examined new energy sources. His team had discovered floating crystals that emitted power far greater than any known technology. This could change energy production across many systems, he said. We must share it wisely, without interference or control. Mara smiled. Humans lead by example, not command. That is why species are choosing to work with us voluntarily. Cooperation born of trust is stronger than obedience born of fear. Meanwhile, small delegations from the Council attempted to follow the humans secretly. Alien scouts observed human methods, noting efficiency, teamwork, and innovative problem-solving. Some were frustrated they could not replicate it, while others were inspired to try. Whispered conversations spread across council chambers: humans were showing the galaxy a better way. On a frozen planet near the edge of explored space, humans faced danger. Ice storms battered the landing site, and massive predators roamed beneath the surface. Yet human teams adapted quickly. Shelters were reinforced, patrols organized, and local species were included in safety measures. Every challenge strengthened human bonds and increased trust among new allies. Liam reflected on the contrast between the humans and the Council. While humans solved problems directly, the Council argued endlessly. While humans learned from mistakes and adapted, the Council clung to old procedures and authority. Every success of the humans became a lesson the galaxy could not ignore. The humans' message was simple but powerful: courage, collaboration, and creativity could achieve more than authority and rules. They were not trying to dominate or punish. They simply acted, showing that possibilities expanded when action led the way. As the Horizon prepared to leave the frozen world, Mara said, "We are teaching by example, Liam. Every species we meet now will carry a piece of this approach back to their home worlds." Liam looked out at the endless stars. And when the Council finally realizes the cost of inaction, they will understand what humans have known for centuries: progress requires courage, curiosity, and the willingness to step forward even when others hesitate. The humans continued their journey, mapping new systems, forming alliances, and creating hope. Across the galaxy, systems whispered about their success, and Council leaders struggled to maintain control. The balance of power was shifting, slowly but surely. Humans were no longer just participants in the galaxy, they were a force for change, and their actions were beginning to reshape the future. For the crew of the Horizon, every planet, every new species, every challenge was a reminder that stepping away from old systems did not mean abandoning responsibility. It meant taking the chance to show the galaxy what humanity could accomplish through courage and action. Back at the Galactic Council, the absence of humans was felt like a storm spreading across the galaxy. Without their guidance, many systems floundered, unsure of how to act. Delegates shouted over one another, alliances shifted, and old rivalries flared. The hall that had once been a place of careful debate had become a place of chaos. A group of reptilian delegates demanded immediate action. "We must summon humans back," hissed Krull, his scales bristling with anger. "Without them, entire systems will fall into disorder." Other species, calmer but frustrated, shook their heads. "We cannot force them," said Votrek, the elder who had spoken for caution before. "They chose to leave. Trying to control them will only show our weakness. Instead, we must adapt or fail." Arguments turned to accusations. Some delegates blamed each other for relying too heavily on humans. Others secretly admired them for the bold decision to act independently. Yet no resolution came. Weeks passed, and the galaxy began to feel the consequences of human withdrawal. Systems that had once depended on council decisions struggled to organize. Trade slowed, defenses weakened, and communication networks faltered. Some planets attempted to form their own coalitions, but disagreements and mistrust made progress slow. Meanwhile, the humans continued their exploration. Liam guided the horizon toward a cluster of planets rich with resources and intelligent life. Each new discovery required careful planning. The humans worked with the local species to build infrastructure, teach problem-solving skills, and establish peaceful coexistence. Their goal was not to dominate, but to show that cooperation and action could achieve more than authority. On a planet with vast oceans and floating islands, humans met a species that communicated through sound patterns. Learning their language took patience, but humans adapted quickly. They created instruments to mimic the sounds, teaching the creatures to understand simple concepts. Within weeks, humans and the new species worked together to build shelters, clean water systems, and observation stations. Mara reported to Liam, "Every time we help, we see trust grow. They do not follow us out of fear. They choose to work with us because they see results. That is the difference between action and authority." Liam nodded. The galaxy will remember this. One day, species will realize that courage and collaboration matter more than rules imposed by councils. Back at the council, reports of human successes arrived like waves against fragile defenses. Some delegates panicked. Others tried to replicate the humans' achievements but failed, frustrated by their own bureaucracy. Hidden factions began forming, some wanting to strengthen their own power, others hoping to invite humans back as advisors but not as participants. The council's instability created opportunities for ambitious leaders. Secret deals were made between planets, some trading resources, others offering military protection. These arrangements often conflicted with older agreements, causing confusion and small conflicts. The galaxy was no longer united under the Council's authority. On a desert planet newly discovered by humans, Liam and Mara faced a crisis. A violent sandstorm threatened the shelters they had built. Teams worked tirelessly to reinforce structures and rescue stranded locals. The humans organized efficiently, using ingenuity and teamwork to overcome the storm. Once the danger passed, the creatures they helped showed gratitude, offering knowledge about underground water sources and weather patterns. "This is what the Council fails to understand," Mara said, looking at the grateful locals. "Humans solve problems. We adapt. We act. That is why others choose to follow our example." Across the galaxy, news of human success traveled faster than the Council could control. Systems began forming voluntary coalitions inspired by humans. Species that once relied on the Council for guidance were now acting independently, creating their own networks of trade, communication, and defense. In the Council chambers, chaos reached a peak. Debates no longer focused on policy but on blame. Delegates accused one another of failing to maintain order. Some suggested drastic measures, while others argued that humans had shown a better path and that the Council must learn from it. A young delegate, speaking for the first time, said, "Humans left, and yet they achieve what we cannot. Perhaps we have relied too much on rules and too little on courage." The hall fell silent. Many delegates frowned, unwilling to admit the truth, while a few nodded quietly, realizing the wisdom in the statement. Liam observed these events from afar, not through interference but through careful monitoring. The Council's chaos confirmed what he already knew: action inspires change far more effectively than authority. He knew the galaxy would face challenges without humans at the table, but he also knew that the lessons humans were teaching would last. As the horizon departed the desert planet, Liam said, "We cannot control the Council. We cannot dictate how they respond. All we can do is act, explore, and demonstrate what is possible when courage and cooperation lead the way. Mara looked out at the stars. And every planet we help, every species we teach, spreads that lesson further. The galaxy will remember humans, not because of power, but because of action. The humans continued their journey, mapping unknown systems, forming alliances, and quietly reshaping the galaxy. The Council, weakened and divided, struggled to maintain influence. Humans were no longer simply members of the Council, they had become a symbol of progress, courage, and hope for the galaxy. And as the stars stretched endlessly before them, Liam knew the humans' path was clear: explore, inspire, and show the galaxy that action, not debate, would shape the future. The galaxy was changing fast. The absence of humans had left the Council in chaos, and some species were taking advantage of the situation. One of the most dangerous threats appeared from the edges of explored space, the Korad. They were a powerful species, known for their aggression and advanced weaponry. For centuries, the Council had kept them in check. Without humans and with the Council fractured, the Korad saw an opportunity to expand. Commander Liam received reports aboard the horizon. The Korad fleets are moving towards several neutral systems, said Rena, the communications officer. They are attacking planets without warning. Casualties are high, and no system is prepared to resist effectively. Liam frowned. We warn the galaxy that inaction has consequences. We cannot stand by while innocents suffer. Prepare defensive strategies. We will help those who cannot defend themselves. Mara joined him on the bridge. If we intervene directly, some council members may accuse us of taking sides. But if we do nothing, countless lives will be lost. The choice is clear. The humans first acted to protect a small planetary system under threat. The Korad ships arrived in orbit, firing energy beams that tore through space stations and defense satellites. The humans coordinated quickly. Using superior tactics, the Horizon deployed defensive drones, created protective shields, and guided the local fleets in maneuvers they had never attempted before. Within hours, the humans had saved the system. The inhabitants cheered, their gratitude visible even from orbit. Liam addressed the planet's leaders through a secure channel. You are not alone. Learn from this. Work together. Courage and cooperation are your greatest tools. Meanwhile, news of the humans' success reached the Council. Panic spread as reports showed humans defeating Korad forces without interference from the Council. Some delegates admitted privately that humans' methods were far more effective than anything they could achieve. Others refused to believe it, insisting humans were acting recklessly. The Korad, frustrated by their losses, increased their attacks. They targeted another system near the core. Liam and Mara studied the enemy movements. They underestimate intelligence and creativity, Mara said. They rely on brute force. We can use that against them. The humans devised a plan. They would lure the Korad into a narrow asteroid field, where their large ships would struggle to maneuver. Smaller, faster human drones would attack from multiple angles, guiding the local defense forces. The humans practiced the strategy until every move was precise. When the Korad fleet entered the asteroid field, the humans executed their plan perfectly. Ships collided with hidden obstacles, drones struck weak points, and the Korad were forced to retreat. The humans had once again protected systems without the need for council approval or orders. After the battle, Mara turned to Liam. We are showing the galaxy that action works. Systems are starting to understand that courage and cooperation matter more than rules and authority. Liam nodded. The council may never admit it, but the message is spreading. The galaxy is learning from us, whether they realize it or not. In the following weeks, humans continued to monitor Korad activity. They trained planetary defense teams, shared strategies, and helped rebuild infrastructure destroyed in attacks. They did not control these systems, they only empowered them. At the same time, subtle changes were happening across the galaxy. Some species began questioning the Council's authority. Why had the Council allowed the Korred to attack in the first place? Could independent action be safer than waiting for permission? Whispers of human influence grew louder. Even the Korred began to notice the humans' skill. Their commanders discussed the humans with caution and respect. They do not follow the rules of war, we know, one said. They adapt, anticipate, and use every advantage wisely. We must change our strategy if we face them again. Despite the danger, Liam remained calm. He knew the humans' role was not to dominate the galaxy but to protect and inspire. Every action was a lesson. Every system they saved or assisted would carry the knowledge forward. Mara looked at the stars beyond the viewport. The Council is still in chaos, but we are proving a point. Action can overcome fear. Courage can overcome hesitation. Humanity is showing the galaxy what is possible. Liam smiled. And the Korred are only the beginning. One day, the galaxy will see that progress does not depend on authority, committees, or endless debate. It depends on those willing to act with skill and wisdom. The humans set course for the next threatened system, ready to continue their work. Their message was clear: the galaxy could survive and even thrive if it embraced courage, cooperation, and decisive action. The Korred threat had shown the Council's weakness and humanity's strength, and the galaxy was watching carefully. In space, among stars and distant worlds, the humans moved forward, unbound by politics, committed to exploration, and determined to show that courage and action could reshape the galaxy for the better. The galaxy was on the edge of chaos. The Korred had been slowed but not stopped. Many systems were still vulnerable, and the Council remained paralyzed by fear, blame, and disagreement. Commander Liam and his crew aboard the Horizon knew the time had come to act decisively. They would not join the Council, but they could no longer remain only observers. Liam gathered his crew in the bridge. We have guided, trained, and advised. Now we must act as protectors. The Korred will not wait, and neither can we. Mara nodded. We act not to dominate, but to defend and inspire. Our goal is to show the galaxy what coordinated courage can accomplish. The first mission took them to the planet Sirian, a lush world under direct Korred attack. Cities burned, and civilians fled in panic. Human drones and local defense forces worked side by side to evacuate inhabitants while organizing strategic counterattacks. Rena, the communications officer, coordinated messages between planetary leaders. We are guiding them to work together. They see that trust and teamwork win over fear and confusion. The humans led the defense with careful precision. Using advanced tactics, they established protective barriers, coordinated surprise maneuvers, and neutralized Korred strike teams. Within hours, the planet's main cities were secure, and the invaders were forced to retreat. From orbit, Liam observed the planet's leaders. Notice how they have learned. They no longer wait for orders. They act with confidence. That is what the galaxy needs to survive and thrive. Word of the humans' actions spread quickly. Systems that had relied on the Council began requesting guidance, not authority. They wanted humans to teach, not command. Humans shared strategies openly, showing that true leadership came from cooperation and shared purpose. Meanwhile, the Council watched in silence. Delegates were shocked to see humans succeeding where the Council could not. Private messages circulated among factions. Humans were proving that decisive action, courage, and teamwork could achieve more than any council or law. The Korred, frustrated by repeated defeats, focused their attack on a cluster of neutral planets near the galactic core. Humans coordinated defenses across multiple systems, using long-range communication networks and rapid response teams. Each engagement was carefully planned, minimizing civilian casualties and maximizing efficiency. On one planet, Mara led an operation to rescue a city surrounded by Korred forces. Humans, working with the local inhabitants, built temporary bridges, created safe zones, and guided civilians to hidden shelters. The Court were unable to penetrate the defenses, and the human strategy allowed the city to remain intact. As the battle ended, Mara said, "Each planet we protect strengthens not only itself but the galaxy. Others are seeing that action, courage, and intelligence matter more than authority." Liam added, "The Council will see this too. They cannot ignore the results. Humans are not here to control, but to show what is possible when one acts decisively and wisely." In distant systems, news of human victories inspired new alliances. Species that had been cautious or divided began working together. They learned techniques from humans, shared resources, and strengthened their fleets. Slowly, independent networks formed, based on trust and cooperation rather than laws or political influence. The Court commanders realized that brute force was insufficient. Their attacks were consistently outmaneuvered, and their losses increased. They began to study human methods, realizing that humans combined creativity, foresight, and teamwork in ways the Court had never encountered. Despite these victories, Liam remained vigilant. "We must continue to protect, teach, and guide. The Council is fractured, and the Court will test the galaxy again. Our example must be strong enough to inspire lasting change." Mara looked at the stars beyond the viewport. "It is remarkable how far we have come. Systems now act on their own, yet they follow lessons we have shared. Courage spreads faster than authority." For the humans, every battle was not just about defense. It was about showing the galaxy that progress comes from action, creativity, and trust. Every system that learned from humans became stronger, independent, and willing to face challenges without waiting for permission. As the Horizon departed the core region, Liam addressed his crew. "The galaxy is learning. The Council is witnessing the limits of inaction. We are not controlling the future. We are guiding it through example. That is the power of humanity." The crew worked silently, each focused on their next mission. They knew the galaxy's fate was uncertain, but they also knew the lesson they were teaching would endure. Action, courage, and cooperation could achieve what authority alone could not. And as the stars stretched endlessly before them, humans moved forward, ready to continue their mission, to defend, to teach, and to inspire the galaxy toward a future shaped by courage and wisdom. The Court threat had grown, but humans were ready. Commander Liam and his crew aboard the Horizon knew that this would be the decisive moment. The galaxy had learned from human action, courage, and cooperation. Now it was time to show what true leadership without control could achieve. Liam gathered his crew on the bridge. "We have taught, guided, and protected. Today, we face the Court directly, not to rule, but to ensure the galaxy survives. Every system we defend now will remember how to protect itself in the future." Mara nodded. "We act as protectors, not conquerors. Our purpose is to inspire and empower. The galaxy is ready for this lesson." The Court fleet approached a critical system near the galactic core, where millions of civilians lived. The humans coordinated with local fleets and leaders. Every planet in the system prepared defensive measures following human guidance. Drones, energy shields, and strategic formations were deployed with precision. The battle began. Court ships launched massive attacks, expecting quick victories. Instead, human-led defenses anticipated their moves. Using clever maneuvers, humans forced Court vessels into narrow corridors where they became easy targets. Local forces, now confident and trained, participated effectively. Rena monitored communications. "They are responding as we train them. The Court are struggling to adapt. Every action is coordinated." Liam guided the main fleet. "Focus on protecting civilians first. Every life we save is a lesson in courage, strategy, and cooperation." Hours passed, and the humans' plan worked perfectly. Court ships were forced to retreat, sustaining heavy losses. Systems that had once relied solely on the Council had acted decisively under human guidance. The galaxy had learned that courage, planning, and trust could overcome even the most powerful threat. After the battle, leaders of the defended planets celebrated. They thanked humans, not for control, but for teaching them how to act independently. Liam addressed them. You have proven yourselves. Remember these lessons. Cooperation and courage will guide you when we are not present. Authority is not enough, action and wisdom matter most. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council observed in stunned silence. They had witnessed humans achieve what the Council could not. Some delegates, humbled, admitted that humans had taught the galaxy a lesson no debate could convey. Others refused to acknowledge it, but even they could not deny the results. Across the galaxy, systems began forming independent networks, inspired by humans. Species that had once followed the Council blindly now acted with confidence. Trade, communication, and defense networks became efficient and collaborative. Humans had shown that leadership through example was stronger than authority through position. On the horizon, Mara looked at Liam. The galaxy is changing. The Council will need to adapt or lose influence. Humans have shown a new model of cooperation, one based on trust and action. Liam nodded. We have done our part. Now it is up to them to carry it forward. We leave behind a galaxy that can protect itself, that can act wisely, and that can grow without waiting for endless debate. Before departing the core region, humans visited the first planets they had helped. They reinforced alliances, shared advanced knowledge, and ensured systems were capable of self-defense. Each visit strengthened the galaxy's independence and confidence. The Korad, having faced repeated defeat, retreated to the edges of the galaxy. Their commanders recognized the human skill and adaptability. They had learned that brute force alone could not conquer a galaxy where cooperation, intelligence, and courage guided action. Back in the Council, discussions finally shifted. Delegates debated how to adapt to the new reality. Some called for reform, inspired by the human example. Others suggested that they must learn to act decisively rather than rely on procedures. The Council had changed, even if slowly, because humans had acted without fear or hesitation. Liam and Mara watched from the bridge of the horizon as stars stretched endlessly ahead. We will continue to explore, Liam said. There are worlds to discover, species to meet, and lessons to teach. But the galaxy is now capable of moving forward without us controlling it. Mara smiled. We have left a legacy of courage and action. The galaxy will remember humanity not because we ruled, but because we showed what is possible. As the horizon sailed into uncharted space, the stars shimmered like a promise. The human's journey continued, free to explore, to protect, and to inspire. The Galactic Council would never be the same. Systems across the galaxy would act with courage and wisdom, guided by the example of humans who had chosen to walk away, yet shape the future more than any law or council ever could. In the endless void of space, humanity moved forward. They had proven that progress, courage, and cooperation could overcome fear, chaos, and even the strongest enemies. The galaxy had learned a powerful truth: action, not debate, shapes destiny, and humans had become its living example.